that time, even though our clock on the wall doesn't say so.
Joe's supposed to have that thing running on time. I don't know.
All right, we will call Courts and Public Safety Committee to order. Could I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Beggs.
Here.
Mr. Hardy.
Here.
Mr. McCormick.
Here.
Mr. Erickson.
Here.
Mr. Walker.
Here.
Very good, thank you. Entertain a motion to approve the minutes from June 11th, 2026.
I'll make that motion, Hardy.
Support McCormick. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Very good. Any changes to the agenda? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved. I'll second. Hardy.
Mr. Hardy, thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Agenda approved. Any public comment for Courts and Public Safety? Hearing none. Prosecutor Bison, grant acceptance and budget adjustment.
Thank you very much. So I believe the board is aware that we became eligible. It's kind of an interesting thing how we became eligible, but that's a side story. But we became eligible for what is being called a local prosecutor grant. The board did indicate that they would like us to try to get it, so we did make an application. It was approved, or the application and the plan were approved. So, as happens with grants, the money is there and available, subject to state funding. There are conditions and rules for the use of it. It's not just something that we can just do anything we want with. It's not just a handout. The intention of the grant is to deal with what is identified as a backlog. On a positive side, they are allowing us to define what a backlog is, because I was honest with them, I'll be honest with you, I don't think that we have what most people would call a backlog. We are pretty efficient in our resolution of the matters that do come before us, but we have volume. As those of you who have ever been to Silver Lake know, it gets busy this time of year. We just had our Forest Festival event. That produces business, and we are going to use the funds to reconfigure our cubicle layout, which I know has been the same since I came here in 2007, and I suspect has been the same going back to at least the early 90s. I could check with some people if it really matters, but we're going to change the cubicle layout, and we're going to bring in a contract employee who has been in our office before, knows how our office functions, and utilize that for a clerical person to help us input cases into the system so that they can get to Kevin and myself sooner, and we're hoping that it'll be a good process. We're very optimistic that it's going to work. I did prepare a independent contractor employment form for that person. If you need to see it, I do have it here. But that's pretty basic. And as far as the budget amendment, this is a reimbursement grant, which means that we have to have the funds available. There is a process. Heather in my office has already started talking to the treasurer's office to make sure that items look right and what we're going to need. We are going to have to demonstrate, before we can receive reimbursement for money spent, we have to demonstrate that it has been paid and that the check has cleared. And then the Department of Treasury will reimburse the county. I am told that our plan for use, I did talk to a lady by the name of Sherry Brunsma, who is the executive director of the Prosecutors Association. The manner in which we are using our funds has been one of the most streamlined methods of using these funds by other counties that have had this before. It is expected that these funds will be available through 2029. However, that is subject to state budget. If you have any questions, I'll answer any questions you have.
Yes, Mr. Walker.
Mr. Bison, with that being a contract for a contract employee, do we need to pass a resolution approving that contract? Normally, contracts with the county have to be approved by the county board.
I am not always sure whether you do or don't. This is part of the reason why I'm trying not to surprise the board with anything and be upfront with you and say, this is what our plan is.
I have absolutely no, I like the plan. Thank you for looking into it. Thank you for doing it. I like the plan, but I want to just make, Tracy, with that being a contract, do you think we need to approve that, a contract?
I have it on the agenda for approving the grant. So, if you want to add in there the grant and the, grant agreement.
Do you want a copy of the grant, or of the contract so that you can?
I believe I added it. I
Okay.
thought I added that in the agenda.
I don't know if I gave you the contract though.
Why don't we have a copy, because we'll have a break. For the board.
It's in there. It's in the
Okay,
back.
it's in there, okay.
Okay.
For the board members, do you have an objection, changing that we also, approve the contract that the prosecutor is entering into, just to make
Yeah, I
sure
think
that
that's a
we've
good
got this
idea,
covered
yeah.
right?
I don't see any harm in doing that.
So,
Right.
thank you.
Are there any other questions about this?
Mr. McCrum?
How far do we get into it before we get reimbursed? How frequent do you request reimbursement?
We will send the request as soon as we are eligible to send the request. The reimbursement from the state is always a interesting process. Another county attempted to use, at least what I was informed by the people that I talked to, another county tried to use the funds to provide raises for existing prosecutors, and that had a lot of hoops and ladders that they had to climb through, and the reimbursement process was extremely lengthy. Based on an experienced base, informed from the people that I talked to, Ms. Brunsma, who has experience working with various prosecutors on this, using the funds this way has been fairly streamlined, and that is the most precise definition I am able to give you.
So you request reimbursement after 6 months or after a year? Or
My
after
understanding
a
is
month?
it will be more frequent than that, is as the bills come in and we can work with the treasurer's office to demonstrate that the checks have cleared, we can process it.
Tim?
Yep.
Tracy, I imagine you will set up line items, a specific line item for this in the budget?
The treasurer usually sets up the chart of accounts,
Okay.
for those, and then, I'll be doing the budget adjustment to cover those.
Yeah.
And we'll just, it'll be a, balance between your revenues and expenditures.
Yeah, but we'll have a specific line item for this grant.
And
That
the,
is what we would like, yes.
yes, and the
Make it
grant,
easier for everybody.
talking about, reimbursement, we can usually have, their checks are usually cleared within a month, so it shouldn't be that long to be able to submit that to the state for reimbursement.
I would just-
No, I know.
So I'm just thinking how much we have invested. If it gets rejected, okay, you're not qualified, we're not gonna pay you. We've already spent the money. You know, so how much, maybe it's not much risk, but how much risk do we have if they decide we're not gonna get reimbursed?
Well,
I have similar concerns, and what I've been told is the way we are using this, that the risk is not high.
Good.
Is what I've been told.
based on the total amount of the grant for $90-some thousand, it's not gonna be that great, if they're processing the bills all the time, so.
Good, seems reasonable. Any other questions? Very good. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you,
Bison.
John.
So just to be clear, you are, or we're expecting that you're gonna want me to sign this.
Pardon me?
You are expecting that you're gonna want me to sign the agreement, because I have not signed it. I wanted to make sure that the board was yes on board with this.
Sure.
We will do all of the approvals at our 11:30 meeting.
Yeah.
Then you'll be all.
Thank you very much.
I don't see I don't, does anybody see a problem with going
Not at all.
forward with this?
No.
So,
As always, if there is anything you need to ask me, I'm available as needed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Under Sheriff Schiller, we have a school resource officer conversation.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you. I know there's not a resolution or a contract, or there really wasn't any paperwork in your packet, and I spoke with Ms. Byard about it, and so it's just a discussion item on the agenda today. But I know there were a couple of questions about the potential partnership with Hart Public Schools, and so I asked Mr. Brad Jacobs, superintendent, newly incoming superintendent for Hart, to come in today and maybe to answer any questions that you guys might have. Obviously, you know that we currently are providing an SRO to Shelby Public Schools, and there's a contract in place there currently, and we would really probably take that contract and customize it for Hart, if that's the direction that we ultimately end up going. Actually, if Hart Public Schools ends up going with us. So if Mr. Jacobs would like to answer any questions, I'm sure he's happy to. He has a strong understanding of SRO programs and what they bring to school districts that he's been at in the past. So, Mr. Jacobs.
Yeah. Thank you.
good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Welcome. Thank you.
My name's Brad Jacobs. I'm the new superintendent. A few of you I know, but excited to be here. But yes, as Ryan said, looking to possibly partner with the Sheriff's Department. Full transparency, we are interviewing a candidate from the city, from City Police. We're looking for a fit. So it's more important to me to have the right person rather than department. I can work with either. I know Juan very well. I know Ryan and Craig very well. So I'm comfortable working with either entity. We just want to find that right person. So that's kind of what I had reached out to Craig and Ryan on early, a few weeks ago, just to see if it was a possibility. Because like you said, I know, or like Ryan said, you currently partner with Shelby. So we just wanted to see if that would be an option for us as well. So.
Tim,
Yeah.
is your current contract with the City of Hart?
It is, but it's up through this year, so
Okay.
it's done as of now. So, and like I said, we are interviewing a candidate from them, but we'd also like to interview one or two candidates from the Sheriff's Department too, if possible.
Gotcha.
So, and like Ryan said, I was up in Indian River for quite a few years, and we were one of the first schools up north, probably back in 2018. We partnered with Tuscarora Township Police to have a full-time SRO. We were one of the few schools up there, and we were very small. We were 600 kids in our whole district. So very important to me. School safety is very important. Looking forward to working with Ryan and Craig and everyone just to make sure we're doing what we can to keep our kiddos safe. So.
Mr. Erickson.
How long were you with Scottville?
I was up there 9 years. And so we did a ton up there with school safety. Oscar Davila worked very closely with him, former Hart student. We were one of the first schools, so I was the high school principal, Mason County Central. We were one of the first schools to have a active live shooter drill with students there in the state. And that was probably back 2015, 16, something like that. But we did it in partnership with the Mason County Sheriff's Department and went extremely well. Had a number of districts in the state call us on that just to see how we did it and how we implement it and things like that. So yeah, no, since my time up there, it's been very, very important to me for school safety. Unfortunately, back in 1990 when I first started teaching, safety was not on the forefront. It was teaching math and all that, and obviously life changes. So we adapt and go from there.
Tim,
Mr. Walker.
Tim, thank you for your comment about interviewing with both. My background was in police work, and as a matter of fact, I was a licensed police officer for 51 years in the state of Michigan.
Okay.
So that tells you that I'm close to being a senior citizen. But your comment that you are interviewing somebody to the city of Park and to the Oceana County Sheriff's Department, and the decision's gonna be made, gives me a lot better feeling than if we just all of a sudden move from one agency to the other.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So everybody's it appears to me that everybody's involved with this, everybody knows what's going on, because I know that often there are comments made, what was this shift made, what was done, you know, what was going on, and
Mhm.
all of this. And you've taken care of that by, you know, talking to both administrations and interviewing from both departments. So that takes care of the concerns that I had, and thank you for that.
Sure, absolutely.
And so Skipsky's not, or Skipsky may?
He is not.
He's
So,
not.
and that was not any my decision. That was made with previous administration to not go forward with him. And again, I can't speak to that. I wasn't here, whether it was a fit thing or we're getting what they want. I'm not sure. When I came aboard, we needed a new SRO position. So again, I like to have all my options on the table. And again, I want to find the best person because I've worked with outstanding SROs. So I just want to make sure we get that right person in there. So it takes a special person to work with kids. It's not, not the same.
I'm not sure we can get you as good a dancer as Tim Simons, though, so.
Well,
You know,
I talked to Ryan, his mother taught at Hart, so maybe we can get him over here, but Mark Olmsted wanted nothing to do with that, so that was shot down right away.
You know, there's a lot to be said of what Paul just mentioned.
Yeah.
Tim does a phenomenal
Yeah,
job.
yeah.
And Tim lives right here, so he's available. And sometimes when you don't live in here, you're not available for those sporting events, for
Right.
the dances, for everything else as much as an SRO needs to be.
Right, yep, absolutely.
Every kid that's in that school needs to recognize that face and needs to know that person as deputy so-and-so or officer so-and-so.
Yeah,
Every single
absolutely.
kid.
Well, and I'd like for the room to know that I really, truly appreciate what Skipsky Kevin has done at Hart High School. You know, he had a good rapport, and he was there and readily available, and if he's not coming back, I wish him well, and hope we can find the right fit.
Yeah.
Because it is important. I mean, it really is in today's world, and when my wife taught special ed in Hart High School, there were many times that it would have been best if she would have been able to have taken a student right down to an SRO than to go through the counseling system and to go into the mental health side of it
Right.
and all the things that we have. Just the presence of an officer.
If you spent so many years in Mason County Central, you realize that every school district can't have a Mark Boone like Ludington had to take care of the everyday operations and have the rapport with the students.
Yeah,
When I was on Ludington Police Department, we worked a lot together.
yeah.
And we had Mark Boone in Hart when he first graduated.
Okay.
Mark Boone rode down with Porky Newkirk and the rest of them in Taunton Hart.
You're dating yourself there.
I am. Everybody should have known Jim O'Neill Newkirk, so, yeah.
All right, any other questions?
Best of luck.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank
That was
you.
helpful.
Yeah.
We probably, if, depending on what the next few weeks looks like, we would probably have something in your next board packet, I think. That would be the hope. So if that's,
Again, undersheriff, for me, any minor concerns that I had have been taken care of with.
excellent. Oh, that's great.
Superintendent coming into the end.
Thank you.
Talking to us about it. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Let's see here. Administrator Byard, child care budget approval and submission.
Each year, we present the child care budget through the state to you all, and we're asking for approval for $533,582, the budget approval and submission to the state.
We have to do this ahead of time to coincide with the state budget.
Their budget. Yep. Any questions, discussion? Very good. Any department head reports? Guess we don't You don't have any? Yep. Public comment as we close courts and public safety. Hearing none, we'll adjourn.
I'll try and talk really slow.
Yeah.
I'd like to call to order Finance Administration Committee. May we have a roll call, please?
Mr. Hardy,
Here.
Mr. Beggs,
Here.
Mr. McCormick,
Yeah. I
Mr.
don't see
Erickson?
anything with that.
Here.
Mr. Walker.
Here.
It asks for approval of the meeting minutes from June 25th, 2026.
Make a motion to approve.
Support Walker.
Motion by Beggs, support by Walker. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carried. Any changes to the agenda? Hearing none, I'll ask for approval of the agenda.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion by Beggs,
Support.
support by McCormick. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carried. Is there any public comment at this time for the Finance Administration Committee? Hearing none, I'll move on. Administrator Biard, Administrator review selected claims for payment and Administrator's report.
Claims for payment have been provided for you. Are there any questions with those? If not, I've provided a report in your packet for the administrator's report. However, I did want to add that I left a summary or an informational piece on your desk this morning with regards to the separate tax limitations, the proposal that is on the ballot. This is an informational piece only. We are not advocating for anyone to vote a certain way. This is just information only, and if you would like me to email that on to you, I can do that. Anyone needs copies or anything like that, let me know. Please look that over, and if you see anything you would like changed, we can do that as well.
Is it appropriate to send that out to the media? We're not advocating anything.
No, we're not.
I think so.
I think it's fine. Yeah, I mean,
It's an
it explains very well.
excellent explanation. I think it should go.
I think it would certainly, information is great, so,
Yeah.
no, I don't see a problem. Because again, we're not advocating either way, we're just kind of explaining what that actually is, so I think that would be
And that, just from my own personal experience on social media, the question is already being interacted with. And I engaged a few conversations this week to kind of dispel some incorrect information. At the same time, there are a lot of taxpayers, residents that are asking, so does a no vote mean my taxes will go down? And that's a very real, and it will. But I also factually explain what services will disappear if a majority of people say no. It's just facts. It's pretty bleak facts in my opinion. I don't like property taxes any more than anybody else, probably less than most. But
If it's not a constitutional mandate, it's probably going to disappear.
Yep.
And if it is a constitutional mandate, we're probably going to fulfill a minimum required on that mandate.
Yeah.
And it affects the townships too.
Right.
Well, we've seen it. We saw the cost cutting up at District 10. There was automatically changes made.
Yeah. No, I think it's a good idea to get it out there and,
Craig, on the administrator's report, would it be appropriate that I could bring up something with that Tracy and I talked about yesterday? And that's the internship.
sure.
We have the sheriff's department has had interns forever. Interns are really part of the licensing through Malazzi for police officers, and they do that. We have another department now who is going to an internship program. About 2 years ago, was it, that there were some changes on internship programs, where they have to be compensated and paid under certain conditions and everything. And Tracy and I talked about this other department that has gone ahead and started an internship program. And Tracy said it first, but I concur with Tracy that we probably need a policy and a procedure on internship program, and before those people can actually start working, the things that have to be dealt with in the administrator's office, the same as if they were an employee, to make sure that we are covering ourselves under the new regulations and everything and going forward. Tracy, did I put that well?
Yes.
And Tracy is going to work on, and with her office, on policy on interns.
Okay.
And it should also cover the people that are coming in to ride with the sheriff's department. We may have to have some variation there, but for liability reasons, for workman's comp reasons, for compensation reasons and everything, I'm sure that before it comes to us, it can go to the department heads. But I really think that we should not be having interns come in, and if they're doing work over and above an internship program, find out we're gonna get billed for all of their labor down the line.
Maybe I'll check with a few other counties and see what they have for the,
I already sent an email out to my administrators. I did,
yeah.
But I want to make this very clear. I'm not trying to do away with internship programs. I
No,
will do internship
but there should be
programs,
some
but-
policies, yeah.
And I'm not taking any, I'm not commenting about any specific department. I did mention the sheriff's department because they are the biggest one to do it. Even with that department, I think we should have some type of a guidelines. We can't tell the sheriff how to staff and what to do, but we can make sure that the paperwork is filled out, and we have that done properly.
Yeah, agree.
Would our attorneys have some useful information too?
with regards to the sheriff's department piece, because we do have some that, we've been sending to, for schooling, we wanted an agreement, set up so that these people that, if we're training them, we're paying for that training, we don't want them to be leaving out the door right away. So, that's an agreement that, they're working on that for us already, because they've already had some other counties do it.
That's kind of a separate issue.
Yeah.
Than the internship, but we have a deputy at our sheriff's department now who has to pay back the sheriff's department in Menominee County for sending him to Northern Michigan University to get his licensing. And I think when he told me when he first came here, I think it's about $5,000 he has to pay back over a period of time.
Mm-hmm.
So.
So that's already been sent to them, and that's being worked on right now, so.
And that's one that I'm sure Tracy is gonna work on very closely with the sheriff and the undersheriff, but as far as, the interns,
Right.
they kinda, intertwine, but they're two separate issues. It seems like every time the courts make a ruling about something or make a change, we've got to do our best to try to keep up to make sure that we're following those rules, and that's
Before
all.
you step in the big hole.
That's all this amounts to. It's not, it's not a shot at anybody at all. It's just that we need to keep up with what's going on.
Great. Anybody else?
I do have something in addition. We received bids, for the stairs just outside the door from Chris, was it yesterday? Or the day before? I sent them off to the Building and Grounds Committee to review, and we received, one of those back. There are 3 bids, and the one is actually, the lowest bid is actually a local company. So, with the approval of the Building and Grounds Committee, we'll be bringing that back to the next board meeting if they want to move forward with that.
It's a fabricated system.
Did you have a chance to look at that?
Yeah, so that was a good, good idea Paul suggested, Tri-Berry, because they're significantly lower than the other 2 quotes we got, because those are out-of-state guys that are just kind of, you know, they're just expensive. But, yeah, Tri-Berry gave us a good price for it and a couple options with the treads, and so I mean, at my first review, I mean,
And they do great work, so.
yeah, they just look like they're the way to go.
Is it a metal system of some type?
Yeah, stainless, I think it's stainless, frame, and then the treads are an option. I mean, we have to pick what tread we want, galvanized or aluminum or stainless, but,
I don't know who came up with the idea of doing a fabricated system like that.
I think Paul did.
Paul,
Is that Paul?
Well, Chris was had been talking to some other companies already. And,
Ranger and.
yeah,
Yeah, it
and then when, he brought it up to them, Paul mentioned, the local company
It was-
to check with them. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
That was a nice option.
yep, great idea.
You can't beat Jim Laporte.
Right.
I would say right now, he is as good as any up in this business.
So I will be,
I
if they are, with their approval, I'll be bringing it.
I don't know about the fabricated steel ones, but I can tell you arcways, stairways, I love selling those. I did one arch stairway and our arcway stairway that was $38,000. And that was 20 years ago.
Oh, good.
So,
Okay. All right, moving on. Any department head reports? Hearing none. Any public comment at this time for Finance and Administration Committee? Hearing none. We will adjourn the Finance and Administration Committee and start the regular meeting at 11:30. Did you time me on that?
I did, no. Yeah. But I bet you still gonna beat the road.
That's true.
You know,